This content discusses the strategic-based issues that Volkswagen is facing, owing to a real-time regulatory scandal. It is being submitted on the behalf of Group 19, in the Marketing and Strategy module at WBS. Let's begin by looking at the way things unfolded in 2015. Please note, this is only a supporting insertion to help establish relevance in present times.
Settlement that'll be announced over the next couple of hours coming out of Washington. The EPA, along with a number of other regulators, will be holding a press conference announcing this settlement, and then we'll hear from Volkswagen a little later on today. Just under $15 billion in total, $14.7 billion. Here's how that money breaks down. About $10 billion will go to buybacks and compensation. We'll talk about the buybacks in just a little bit. $2.7 billion in fines to the EPA, and another $2 billion will be set aside as Volkswagen worked to develop zero-emission vehicles. All right, the compensation component of this goes to 475,000 VW owners. These are people who owned diesel models that had rigged emissions, so almost 500,000 of those here in the United States. They will be offered up to $10,000 as part of their compensation. In addition, Volkswagen is going to offer to buy back their diesel cars, depending on the model, depending on a number of other conditions and factors. The exact buyout per owner is going to be a pretty wide range here, but this is far greater than many people were expecting. However, this does not end the legal woes for Volkswagen. There's still the DOJ. It has a criminal probe ongoing. There are criminal investigations in Germany and South Korea, and they still have to fix 11 million cars in Europe. So they are far from out of the woods as far as this issue is concerned. Take a look at shares of Volkswagen. Like many of the European automakers over the last couple of days, it's been under pressure because of concerns that Brexit will lead to a dramatic slowdown in sales, not only in Europe, but also in the UK as well. Again,
let's have a look at the first strategic question. Should Volkswagen continue the production of diesel vehicles? Firstly, the evaluation of Volkswagen as a brand against its implication on the group at large must be identified to provide definitive solutions. Volkswagen Group is a German multinational automotive manufacturing company. It's headquartered in Wolfsburg, Germany. Some of its prestigious brands include that of Bentley, Bugatti, Lamborghini, Audi, and so on.
First, with the help of the BCG Matrix tool, we aim to analyze the productivity, profitability, and the sustainability of the various diesel models under the Volkswagen brand. VW dominated the diesel cars industry with the support of VW Touareg, Golf, Jetta, and Passat. However, there has been a shift in the situation. In accordance to the BCG model, Passat diesel has a relative high market share but a negative 54.9% market growth rate. The Jetta diesel also joins the list. These two models fall within the cash cow category. Touareg diesel is currently experiencing negative sales growth rate and less than 2% market share. This statistic puts it into the dog category. Only Golf diesel has positive sales growth rate and 4.06% market share, escalating it to the question mark section.
Further, the analysis of VW Group for diesel models in a BCG matrix reveals that Audi continues to be the market leader and rests in the star category. Skoda maintains a high reputation but lacks corresponding sales. Adding on, Seat is a newly acquired company and its future is uncertain. Hence, Skoda and Seat become the question marks. VW commercial vehicles and Scania face heavy industry competition and do not fare well, confining them to the dog category. Lastly, VW passenger vehicles continue to possess a high market share. However, as analyzed in the matrix above, the sales have begun to decline. This places the VW brand in the cash cow segment against measurement with the entire group.
This information gives rise to the challenge of differentiation and creates the need to enter a new market to rebuild their brand image. Which brings us to the second strategic question. How can VW attain competitive advantage in the electric vehicles sector? The electric vehicles industry as whole is expected to grow at a whopping 37.4% CAGR over the next few years and account for 3% of all global vehicles.
Let's explore the opportunities in this industry by building a perceptual map. This will result in a competitor analysis. The two major attributes that consumers consider when buying an electric car can be categorized as affordability and design. Mapping the same, we can conclude that Tesla and BMW produce high-end, technologically advanced electric cars. Next is Nissan, that provides a great design for a lesser price. Lastly, to follow is Honda with a slightly higher price but generic designs. VW comfortably sits in the middle of the graph with average pricing and design enhancements. This provides VW with an excellent scope to diversify towards desired directions at a given time, by developing different models.
Porter's 5 Forces Analysis. Buyer power, low. Potential buyers of this market are characterized with high disposable income. As costs are quite high, fewer customers want to purchase them. Supplier power, medium. Owing to requirement of advanced raw materials, manufacturers can operate their own production factories, resulting in weakening of the power of the supplier. New entrants, medium. The market demands high investments and reputation. This leads to a difficulty for new players to directly compete in this market. Threat of substitutes, high. Standard fuel cars and public transport are the main substitute players in this market. Established infrastructure to access them poses as a further threat. Degree of rivalry, high. Competitors such as Tesla and Nissan have invested heavily on building the necessary personnel. Further investments and standardization norms make it difficult to differentiate.
Moving on towards the section that acknowledges the relevance of this component, identifies the scope of recovery for Volkswagen and links it all together in current time, the recommendations.
Firstly, the diesel models of the entire group were heavily reliant on VW passenger vehicles to maintain their market share. Hence, complete discontinuation of all the models could lead to further brand degradation. However, there is a dilemma since the profitability of the diesel industry, in the near future is very low. Focusing on profitable models such as Golf diesel and question mark models such as Skoda, incorporating necessary consumer servicing steps to get the cash cows back to the stars zone, and cutting back resources for the rest would be an ideal step to take.
Secondly, VW must consider the cooperative approach to receive the momentum they require to venture out into a new market. Sometimes, competition can escalate in a way that is dangerous to all competitors. Owing to the fierce competition in the electric vehicles industry, the next step would be to identify the immediate competitors to create a secure environment. Collaborations can pave way for driving out new entrants and substitutes through reduced costs and improved benefits respectively. Suppliers and buyers can be collectively managed by combining forces in terms of investments in R&D, design innovations, and technological infrastructure.
This approach can be critiqued with factors such as conflicts of interest, different set of core values and dissimilarity in scope of operations.
VW Group can come together as a force to avoid these issues since various sub-brands such as Porsche, Audi, etc. are looking towards entering this market. This will help create market dominance and generate opportunities to produce various models for different target audiences, whilst exploiting the benefits of a cooperative approach.
Other necessary recommendations to address key strategic issues are: definitive statements regarding the legal position, settled claims, and declarations of honesty must be made to regain consumer trust. Intelligent innovations and technologies must be deployed to buy back customer satisfaction. The one feature at a time approach can be brought back into marketing plans. Recruiting systems must be redesigned to prevent ethical repercussions in the future. An overall target sales approach must be followed rather than investing heavily on damage control. Lastly, manufacturing activities in India and China must be diversified to enable cost savings, R&D, and division of resources.